Dana White has once again addressed the UFC's ongoing battle against illegal streaming sites, making it clear that he takes piracy seriously and is unapologetic about shutting down platforms that illegally broadcast fights. White has long been outspoken about prosecuting those who stream UFC events without authorization, emphasizing that protecting the integrity of the sport and the business is a top priority. His recent comments came during an appearance on the Caleb Pressley Show, where he discussed the closure of Stream East, a site reportedly involved in unauthorized streaming of UFC content. During the conversation, White admitted to playing an active role in shutting down the site, explaining that targeting illegal streamers is one of his favorite aspects of protecting the UFC. When questioned about the shutdown, he confirmed that he had cut off access to numerous streaming platforms, calling it a necessary measure to maintain the UFC's business and ensure fans consume content through legal channels. White approached the subject with his trademark candidness, showing that he does not mind being labeled a narc for his efforts, as the consequences of piracy outweigh the criticism. He elaborated on the ongoing difficulties fans might have experienced accessing content through certain illegal sites, noting that shutting down these platforms is part of a broader strategy to protect fighters, the promotion, and the sport as a whole. White emphasized that the UFC takes piracy very seriously, acting decisively against any outlets that attempt to distribute content without authorization. His firm stance. Alex Pereira has made it clear that he is eager to compete at heavyweight next. In recent months, Pereira has publicly expressed interest in moving up to the heavyweight division, with a specific focus on a potential matchup against Jon Jones at the White House. However, he has since clarified that he is not concerned about the opponent. His primary goal is to capture the heavyweight belt. This marks a significant step in his career, following his move from middleweight to light heavyweight due to the difficulties he experienced making the 185-pound limit. Since his transition, Pereira has shared videos online showing him weighing well over 225 pounds, further fueling speculation that he is preparing for a permanent move to the heavyweight ranks. The discussions about moving up gained traction following his dominant victory over Magomed, where he captured the light heavyweight title. In interviews and public appearances, Pereira emphasized that his ambitions extend beyond any single opponent. He is focused on earning titles across multiple divisions. During a recent appearance on Brazil's Omelette Show, Pereira was asked again about his plans at heavyweight. He reiterated that while he has long been interested in a fight with Jon Jones at the White House, he is ultimately flexible regarding who he faces next. He acknowledged that while he has personal preferences, the decision is not entirely in his control, and like other fighters, he must wait for the promotion to organize the matchups. Pereira expressed excitement at the possibilities ahead, noting that whichever opponent he faces, competing for a heavyweight title would be a historic and challenging opportunity. Looking forward, several potential matchups have emerged for Pereira. During a recent post-fight press conference, UFC President Dana White addressed the current state of the lightweight division and specifically discussed Arman Tsarukyan's path toward a title shot. White emphasized that Tsarukyan cannot simply be awarded an immediate opportunity and must work his way back up the rankings to earn a championship bout. According to White, while Tsarukyan has demonstrated considerable skill and potential, the lightweight division remains highly competitive, and title fights require more than just name recognition or previous performances. White noted that the recent developments in the division, including upcoming unification bouts and the positioning of interim title holders, mean that opportunities must be earned through consistent success. He highlighted that Tsarukyan had previously been in a position to compete for a title, but circumstances did not align in his favor, and as a result, he will need to rebuild momentum. White stressed that numerical rankings alone are insufficient to determine title eligibility. The promotion also considers performance quality, the significance of wins, and other factors when awarding championship fights. Reflecting on the broader context of the division, White shared insights into the challenges faced by fighters who narrowly miss out on opportunities. He explained that the UFC has witnessed many instances over the past 2 decades where fighters were given chances but could not capitalize on them, which underscores the importance of continually proving oneself in high-level competition. For Tsarukyan, this means he must demonstrate dominance in his upcoming fights and secure victories that clearly position him as a top contender before being considered for a championship matchup. White's comments also served as a reminder of the competitive nature of the UFC and the necessity for fighters to make. Paddy Pimblett has reignited his rivalry with Ilia Topuria by calling him out for a potential fight in Spain. After Topuria knocked out Charles Oliveira to claim the lightweight championship, Pimblett entered the octagon for an unexpected face-off, fueling speculation that he might be next in line for a title shot. However, no official announcement has followed, leaving fans uncertain about whether the long-standing tension between the two will finally lead to a matchup. During an appearance on Eldo Berdin's YouTube channel, Pimblett openly criticized Topuria's path to the belt, arguing that the champion had one of the easiest routes to a UFC title in recent memory. Pimblett pointed out that Topuria had to defeat Josh Emmett to earn his title shot, and suggested that the opponents he faced along the way did not represent the toughest competition the division had to offer. He argued that fighters like Ryan Hall, Josh Emmett, and Bryce Mitchell, while talented, were not the type of elite contenders that traditionally precede a championship opportunity. Pimblett further claimed that Michael Chandler, a former title challenger, could have beaten all of Topuria's previous opponents with relative ease, and implied that Topuria only captured the featherweight title because Alexander Volkanovski was not at full strength when they fought. According to Pimblett, everything aligned perfectly for Topuria: timing, matchups, and circumstances. He insisted that had he been given a similar trajectory without injuries or breaks, he would already be a world champion. In addition to questioning Topuria's resume, Pimblett escalated the rivalry by calling him out for a fight in Spain, tying in the long-standing football rivalry between Liverpool and Real Madrid. He stated that he would love to compete at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, promising to defeat Topuria in front of what he described as Alex Pereira is facing significant backlash from the MMA community following comments he made about Magomed Ankalaev. Pereira stated that Ankalaev has already demonstrated he isn't afraid of him, a remark that sparked widespread criticism from fans and analysts alike. Observers argued that Pereira's comments were disrespectful, particularly given the history between the two fighters. Many highlighted that Pereira had avoided facing Ankalaev for years, holding the belt while delaying the matchup, and now, after being dominated in their fight, he appears to be downplaying the challenge Ankalaev presented. Fans noted that during the fight, Pereira landed only a handful of significant strikes, while spending much of the time on the defensive. Critics emphasized that the narrative Pereira attempted to create, suggesting Ankalaev was running or fearful, did not align with the actual performance inside the octagon. They reminded the MMA community that Pereira had repeatedly delayed fighting Ankalaev, avoiding the toughest challenge of his career, and yet now seemed to question Ankalaev's courage, despite a decisive defeat. Many argued that this approach was unnecessary and damaging to the respect Pereira had earned from fans over the years. The backlash also focused on Pereira's apparent attempts at a staged confrontation for promotional purposes. Observers felt that while media hype and promotional tension are part of the sport, his remarks crossed a line, creating an embarrassing situation that undermined his credibility. Fans highlighted the months-long delays leading up to the rematch, pointing out that a fight could have occurred much earlier, but Pereira avoided it out of concern for facing a serious challenge. This pattern, combined with his recent comments, has fueled the perception that he is deflecting from his performance rather than owning it. Despite the criticism, some supporters argue that it was simply an off night for Pereira